Welcome to the latest edition of the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our assignment desk, otherwise known as my compost heap. Let's see what stories we're working on at this hour. I'd like to raise a glass of garbanzo beans to toast one of the best falafel places in town, Havenly, on Temple Street between George and Crown. They're closing after 6 years, and we're sad to see it close, not only because had yummy food, but it was a place with a mission. It trained refugee and immigrant women to become chefs. They're closing after 6 years, but the mission will continue in other ways to train people. And I would argue that it's tough to keep a business going on that block in the shadow of the overhang of the concrete Temple Street parking garages. A lot of places come and go, and maybe a creative city government could find ways to humanize that block again, so you'd actually want to walk on it and go to businesses. Well, look at this nice city bus. Who could be against city bus and bus riders? Well, the woman who runs the Elm City Club, the former graduate club, the snooty place, the pretentious place across from the Green on Elm Street, she thinks that people who ride buses or walk to work don't count, only people who drive to come to her place. She was speaking this week at a public meeting about a complicated issue, about how to make it easier for buses to go faster on main streets. The state has a plan, Bus Rapid Transit, that's going to create separate lanes, and we're going to lose some parking on Elm Street. And that worries legitimately some Elm Street businesses who rely on drivers. I would argue that everybody belongs in our city and everybody counts, but here's what Gervais said. If you look at the demographics of the people who actually put money into the city, they don't walk, they drive. You wouldn't catch me on a bus. Well, you're not going to catch me spending a dime in your snooty place. I walk to work, I take the bus to work, and so do plenty other people. Here's medal earning season. Ryan Fitzpatrick's a 14-year-old who lives near Edgewood Park, who's trying to earn his Eagle Scout badge by designing a new path, or fixing up an old path from the Edgewood Bridge along the West River to the old soccer fields. He's working with Parks and Recs. Way to grow, great project. Well, here I'm getting flyers every day for people in door knocking, running for the 92nd State Assembly District Democratic nomination in a primary next month. Hot and heavy race, democracy going great, and the key moment for voters will be Tuesday, July 28th at 7 p.m. at Coogan Pavilion. There's going to be a debate moderated by the Independent's Tom Breen, inviting all the candidates, all three of them who are running. This is the key moment for democracy in a debate, where the candidates, if they show up, show that they care about their constituents, they want them to be heard, and they want to work for their vote. See you there. Do you know this celery, buying it locally, cost me $3.25? Not the end of the world, but it cost $1.99 just a couple of years ago. Thank God I don't eat meat. Do you know that ground beef has gone up to $7 a pound this year? In 1 year, 12.6% increase. We know that weather has something to do with it, but the four other main reasons prices have gone so crazy for groceries all have to do with decisions by our president. Tariffs have driven up prices. That crazy, accomplishing nothing but killing people Iran war has driven up prices. This rule that if you're a trucker, you have to be proficient in English has meant that thousands of truckers are now off the road, and there's been a crackdown on immigration, which got rid of farm workers. Elections have consequences. I could see the sun through all that haze, despite all those wildfires from Canada. That's a good thing, because in New Haven, we're harnessing the sun for clean energy. It was announced this week that a new solar carport, where they put a solar array over where you park, is going in the parking lot at Wilbercross High School. And we have a bunch of those already in New Haven. This is the second wave of them. Whether it's the sun, getting that clean energy, or geothermal from the ground, where the city's doing it near Union Station, we're on the right path in New Haven for clean, green energy. Well, checkbooks or digital checkbooks have flown wide open for people who need government for money in their living or favors. They've opened them wide for Justin Elliker, our mayor, who's running for re-election already, even though the election's not till next November, not this November. He already has raised $97,000 for that faraway election for a 4-year term. And if you look at his contributors, as supported by Tom Breen, they are filthy, that list, with developers, lobbyists, contractors, landlords, all the people who depend on government for money, and that's the only reason they give to the mayor. My favorite example on the list is Thomas Gerard, a lawyer from Weathersfield, who obviously couldn't give a shit about New Haven. He was recently hired by the mayor to represent us in an important court case for a lot of reasons, involving one of the many black men who were sent to prison for many years, even decades, falsely charged for murders based on fake evidence done by corrupt cops. And Gerard was paid by the mayor in our name to defend the actions of a corrupt cop, saying he did nothing wrong, in framing a man who spent decades in prison. And he did it in a way that convinced the jury to award a $38 million verdict, which could be one of many, and bankrupt our city, because it proved that our city still believes that it's okay to frame people corruptly with fake evidence. Now, this worked out well for Gerard. He got money. It worked out well for Justin Elicker. Gerard gave the full $400 to Elicker, and another Gerard from same address, Patricia, gave another $400. It doesn't work out so well for us. Until next time, this is a New Haven Independent Vlog News segment. Remember, let's always pick up and recycle our trash while we still can.